Welcome back to Cask 529, everyone. I'm Brian.
And I'm Shauna.
And we're back with day 2 of the Whiskey Advent Calendar.
529, Whiskey Christmas Advent, counting down to Christmas, one whiskey at a time. Have yourself a merry little whiskey and a very merry Christmas.
Here we are, Shauna, day 2.
I know. Let's get that second sample out.
She's ready.
I know. The first day was really good.
No small talk. She's going right in.
No, not at all. Sample number 2.
Looks a little lighter.
December the 2nd. It is a little bit lighter.
I'll tell you what, that one yesterday, sample 1
It was
from Frey Ranch.
It was definitely a winner. Some of these we've had. Some of them we've never had. So, honestly, the order is a complete surprise to us.
It is.
So, we will see what we have today.
It's kind of a cool color, actually.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers. Sweet.
A little bit of sweet, but I'm getting the spiciness on this one. Not a lot of heat.
I don't know. That's I'm not getting a lot of spice. I'm getting more sweet, but not an overbearing amount of sweetness.
Picking up a lot of vanilla. With a hint of a fruit note.
Are you getting brown sugar on the nose at all? No, because I'm kind of feeling brown sugar back in here.
Nope, not getting that.
Okay, going
Here
in.
we go.
I'm going in.
I'm getting a lot of that spice up front on the palate.
I got it on finish.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get it up front. I got it on the finish. Up front, you got cherry.
I did. It finished with a wonderful, wonderful cherry note.
So it's a jar of cherries. We know that.
Ah.
I got a lot of caramel and brown sugar up front, vanilla, but yet a nice amount of spice in there. Cinnamon, probably.
Mm-hmm.
I get a little more spice now in the nose than I didn't get any at first.
So this opens up with, for me, with a lot of the baking spices on the front. That cinnamon that you mentioned is definitely there, but then a heavy vanilla. And then it rolls into a nice creamy note that finishes with a beautiful cherry note. It's this one's really good.
Shauna and that cherry note.
I'm not saying it's better than yesterday's, but as you all know, I really enjoy a whiskey that has a cherry note in it, and so this is delightful. I will say the proof on it, I don't feel it's super proofy, maybe right at 100, high 90s, low 100s, but I'm going to put it right at 100.
I feel like no more than 100. That might be high.
Has just a tiny, tiny, tiny hug on the finish.
Yeah, it's really nice. I mean, that's we talk lots of times about starter pours. That's kind of a advanced. It's not a novice, but it's not experienced either. That's moving up the ladder. That's gives you a little bit of the heat, a little bit of the hug, but yet it reminds you of where you started.
Mm-hmm. It's really nice.
It is really nice.
I will tell you, I do not feel it's as complex as the Frey Ranch that we had on December 1st for the first sample. However, this is a great one for the second. I know yesterday I gave it a 78 for the Frey Ranch. It was more complex, had a lot more flavors, a lot more bang. It was good. Even though this has my cherry note on it, I'm going to probably give this one a 75. It's good, but I don't feel it's as good as yesterday, so that's why I'm knocking it down a few points.
And I'm going to come down a few points as well to 77, just because it doesn't have that hug and that heat that I really like. I like that kind of a kick. You know, I like that reminder, here's what you're drinking, and we want you to know it.
Yeah. And to those watching, please know that I am really hard on scores. To get to 100, it almost has to be a Mac Daddy with everything, because if you give everything a score of 100, then where do you have to go? And so I have given some high scores, but they've been really, really, really extremely good pours. When I put them in the mid to high 70s, it's a good pour.
Absolutely.
So I don't want you guys to think, oh, it only reached the 70s. It's not.
And
good
in
because it
reality, for me, I could almost score that the same score as yesterday's pour. I could almost score it at the 80, just like I did yesterday, with different qualities. I mean, because it's not anywhere near the same pour.
Yep.
It's totally different, but it had a lot of qualities that yesterday's pour didn't have. Yesterday's pour had a lot of qualities that this pour doesn't have. So I could have gave it the same score. I only dropped it down because it doesn't really have those elements that I really like.
Right.
So,
All right, let's see what we have. We have, this does not surprise me. We have not had this one, but it doesn't surprise me that it has a cherry note on it. It's Wilderness Trail, small batch, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, bottled in bond at 100 proof. I will tell you, this one's the small batch bourbon whiskey. We've had the wheated whiskey
rye.
and the rye, and they both also have the cherry note on them for me. So this does not shock me that I got the cherry note on this one. Very good. Great job, Wilderness Trail. You're putting out some really wonderful things.
Absolutely.
And so this is the third one of your products that we've had, and all of them have been really good.
and this is one of the many, many bottles that we bought specifically for this that we had never had.
Yep, it is.
So, awesome. That was a great pour.
Yeah,
So, I think that's all we have for today.
it is.
So if you guys would hit that like button, we'd appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Drop us a comment and let us know if you're following along on this challenge event. What'd you score that? And I think with that, I would like to say just have yourself a merry little whiskey.
And a very Merry Christmas season.
5:29, whiskey Christmas sadness, counting down to Christmas, one whiskey at a time. Have yourself a merry little whiskey and a very